got second place in my class, S5 class. So I think there are only 3 people in my class, but I still think that's pretty good for my first time out, with a time of 49 seconds and some change. So yeah, second place. Got to go up from there. That's all you got to do, right? I had a blast out here today with my fabulous car. It was great out there on the course. What a fantastic car. And this was my first timed event. The one I recorded earlier was a beginner session. That beginner session was not timed. I don't have the full results of my 10 laps. I did about 10 laps today, but I do know that my early laps were in the high 50s, 56, 58 seconds. Some of the other guys were coming in the 40s, 45, 47 seconds. So they were blowing me away clearly. But then towards the end, my second to the last run was my quickest. It was a 49-second run. What I had to do was just let go. You know, like at first, my first couple of runs, I had an instructor in the car with me, and he was talking, which was fine. It's just that I was more self-conscious about driving with someone else in the car with me, believe it or not. But then towards the end, maybe because I was getting accustomed to driving and I saw other people spin out, I saw other people hit cones, that I was like, you know what, we're just here having fun. There's nothing to be self-conscious about. Just have fun. And I just let go. And I think that's when the faster times kind of started coming in. I said, you know, and you learn to trust the car. The 911 is an amazing, amazing car, and it can handle so much. It can enter turns so quickly. So you have to just trust that the car will be there for you. But one thing that the instructor did remind me of today is to keep looking far ahead. Don't just focus on the cone in front of you. Look at the next set of cones and what does that mean for how you approach those cones. So following that advice really did help my times. The other thing I noticed too is I really had to set my seat to be much more upright, you know, because in a more relaxed driving position like I normally have, doing an autocross, I kept like pulling myself up, and there's no need to pull on your steering wheel to get where you need to be. So I noticed that when I watch racing certain kinds of racing, I noticed that the driver is really right up on the steering wheel, and now I understand why. You really want to have leverage to turn the wheel as quickly as you can, and the best way to have leverage is to be kind of close to the wheel. The closer you are to the wheel, you don't have to pull and turn. You're just turning and letting your hands move freely because your body is close enough to the wheel. I hope that makes some sense. But after you do your first set of 5 runs, then your role is to pick up cones for other drivers. So your first group then has to go out onto the course and man the course. So if someone else, another driver hits a cone, you can run out to that cone, pick it up, put it back in place because the next driver is coming right on through. Half of your day is volunteering, setting up cones. The other half is driving, if that makes sense. So be aware of that going in, that you are a volunteer to help out as well as do your own runs and do your time drives. But to me, it was worth it. It gives you much more sensation of what this car can really do. All kinds of cars out there, even though this is a Porsche Club of America New York event, there were all kinds of other cars out there. There were Miatas, and those Miatas, man, those drivers really must know what they're doing in today's group because they were flying through that course. I think those small little Miatas are just perfect for autocross. There are great Boxsters there. Boxsters, I think, are perfect for autocrossing. They're smaller, mid-engine cars. There is a beautiful Boxster Spider. There were a couple of beautiful Boxster Spiders. There was a black one and this beautiful white one that clearly must have had sports exhaust or aftermarket exhaust on it. Then there was another white Boxster, older model that must have been set up like a race car. It was very flat through all of the turns, had a booming loud exhaust note. Pretty incredible thing to watch. Really see when you're standing out on the course volunteering, I had a particular station of cones that I was watching, and you could really see the lines that people are taking and how smooth they are, some of the better drivers, and you just kind of think about, visualize, how can I do that while I'm in the car driving? I think there's a lot I'm leaving on the table. I think this GTS is so capable and so fast and has such great brakes and grip that I'm braking too soon. I'm not accelerating fast enough. So I'm probably holding back the performance of this car. In fact, I know I am. But I think that'll come with time. Someone had a station wagon Audi out there, might have been an Audi S6 or A6 wagon, or someone had a tricked out Honda Civic that was pretty fast. Clearly a lot of work had been done to this Civic because it was rolling through this course. So the cool thing about it is you don't have to have a Porsche to participate in the Porsche Club of America autocross events. They're open to any car. So bring your car out, have some fun. I know I did. By the way, the driver of this car right here, got the fastest time of the day, I think, in 44 seconds, if I have my facts right. So it doesn't matter what your drive, it's just how good a driver are you that gives you the fastest time. A couple other things I would mention about today's event. I kept the car in Sport Plus. That seems to work for me. Again, it keeps the engine in the really high part of the rev band where all your power is. And again, it's an autocross, so at most you're in second gear, but it keeps the revs really high because it holds that gear. And also, if I remember this correctly, Sport Plus is a little bit more forgiving and doesn't allow the computer to intervene as soon as in regular mode or in sports. So Sports Plus lets the car slide a little bit more before the computer intervenes. There was one part in the back part of the course, you know, the course is kind of like a U-turn. There's slaloms and stuff along the way and obstacles, but essentially you're going down and back. And there's like a U at the end before you come back. And that U is a big sweeper. And I could feel the car just kind of drifting around that turn. It felt fabulous. And I think because I was in Sport Plus, the computer was letting me have fun before intervening. And you could just let the car drift around, and it seemed like I was in the perfect position for the next turn because the car allowed me to do that drift. It's pretty fun, I have to say, to experience what the car can do at the edge of adhesion. And that only happened once or twice. I think as I get better, I'll be able to drift the car a little bit more. And again, drifting, when I say drifting, I'm not talking about tail out, smoke, and all of that. No. In fact, they say drifting like that, you lose time. So I'm just talking about all four wheels are kind of skating along, and you're just setting up the car for the next turn. The other thing too that I would mention, for this session, I put on the Pirelli P0 tires, back on the car, which are the OEM tires. The two front tires are the tires that came with the car 2 years ago. The two rear tires are newer than the fronts. And definitely I could feel like the car had more grip than the last time. And I had the Michelin Alpine tires on, but again, it was only like 12 degrees outside. So it was super cold during that beginner course. So having the Michelin Alpines on was definitely the right thing and probably provided me the most grip considering the weather conditions, how cold it was. Well, it's reading 68 now, but we're going into town. So out on the beach with the wind, I'm sure it was maybe around 60 degrees at the warmest. Anything above 50 degrees is better for summer tires. And the warmer it gets, the even better it is. So deeper into the summer, the hotter it gets, the better. So anyway, that's another little point. Summer tires, Sport Plus, good combination. I also want to give a shout out to Josh and Spencer, who I met today in person. They are subscribers to my channel, and they came up to me and introduced themselves. I'm so glad that they did. I really appreciate that they introduced themselves. And Josh and Spencer, I hope to see you at more autocross or track day events coming up. It was great and a pleasure to meet you guys, and hopefully I'll see you again at the next one. I got here bright and early in the morning, like at 7:30 or so in the morning. So what I'm doing now is walking the course just to see what it's like. I have a little map here, and they encourage you to do this to really get a sense of what the course is all about. So that's what we're doing, we're walking.
I sit on the side, cause that's the side I'm sitting. I never run, I just start looking. See, I know it's
Before each car goes on course, it must go through tech inspection, and that's pretty simple. They just want to make sure your tires have enough tread on them, that their lug nuts are nice and tight, that the engine is in working order. Also check your helmet to make sure you have a Snell 2010 or 2015 rated helmet. With my center lock wheels, they just want to make sure the locking mechanism was working properly. Simple things like that. Guys, I won second place in my category. It was the S5 category. I'll have to look up who am I sharing my category with. I'm so new at this, I don't even know who's in my category. I believe it's stock, unmodified 911s and things like that. So this is an unmodified class. No extra slick tires, no suspension mods, no exhaust mods. And full disclosure, there were only 3 of us in my particular class today. So it wasn't like I beat 20 people or something like that. But considering this was my first autocross in a first timed autocross, I think I did pretty well to get second place. So I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with my performance, and I can only get better from here. Just want to say that the GTS was such a fantastic partner on the course. It's just an amazing car to get out there and drive. All right, so with that, guys, just want to give you that update. Second place. What? That's what I'm talking about. GTS is my partner. All right. Till next time, guys. See you in the next video.